Well, Joseph's off to Joshua Tree because it's Wednesday. And so it's just me. Yeah. I'm just going to hit play on the music now.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Tiny white stuff.
Hey, how you guys all doing? This is Edward here, and, more geek than gay. Ta-da! And I just want to take a quick moment. First of all, thank Terry and Stewie Monster for their messages yesterday, and basically left a quick message regarding the fact that I was concerned about how I was looking. They both watched the video podcast, and in return, I kind of think that maybe is something to address for today's quick little podcast, and that is image issues. Okay, doing a little bit of research, it looks like I may be having a rosacea moment, which I don't even know how long of a moment a rosacea moment is, but it really fits that description. I've had small moments like this in the past, normally not anywhere near this extensive. Right now I've been doing a medicated type cream. It doesn't burn when I put it on, so yay. So no lotions, it's actually a medicated cream that I had from my doctor for something else, and it does seem to be kind of helping. It at least looks better, and I'll admit there is a little bit of vanity going on here. Not to say that I've ever kidded myself into thinking that I was Brad Pitt, but at the same time, nobody wants to look, wants to feel that their looks have deteriorated for whatever reason, even though that's life. And that brings us back to image issues. I am a long-time comic book reader, and it pops up in other things too, but comic books is one where people like to comment constantly about the sexualized and idealized people that you're seeing in comic books, and how there's no ugly people in comic books. That's never really bothered me. Okay, comic books are a fantasy. All these other things, they're fantasies. And to be honest, with most comic books, these are people who, for whatever reason, they may not have trained themselves to like Olympic level physical perfection or Batman level, God forbid. But at the same time, either they've been blessed with a superior physical structure, or they have worked out enough to be able to have some basic fighting skills so they don't get tired in battle. And as such, they have a healthy physique. And you know what? A healthy physique goes a long way. When's the last time you've actually seen an ugly gymnast? You add to it a costume and sometimes a mask, And, of course, you got a whole bunch of pretty people running around fighting crime. It's part of what made Amanda Waller, though, interesting, because she was introduced in DC Comics, and she was a formidable character, and a short, squat black woman. And she was fantastic. In the Green Lantern movie, you got to see her played by Angela Bassett. I believe it was Angela Bassett. Either that or it was what's his face, is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's wife. I don't remember which one played it, but because now that I think about it, I don't think it was Angela Bassett. I think it was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's wife. And that really ruined the image of her. If you ever watched the Warehouse 13, the woman played by C.K. Pounder, I think that's her name. C.K. Pounder would have been perfect for Amanda Waller. Okay, she was playing Amanda Waller on Warehouse 13, except for she was so much more pleasant and agreeable. DC has since made Amanda Waller into a gorgeous person, and that's a shame because it ruined part of what helped out. You know, it gave you that brief moment of like, well, not everybody has to be pretty, because she wasn't physically fighting people, so she could just be her. But that's kind of secondary to actual body issues. The geek community, you kind of run into two extremes, it seems like sometimes. Those who have body issues and those who are completely unaware of their bodies. Now, those who are completely unaware of their bodies sometimes dress scantily and all that, and that's great that they have that security. That really is. But at the same time, they do sometimes foster a little bit of an unrealistic body image, thinking that they are healthy when they're working on their third bag of Doritos. Thinking that, you know, hey, why isn't everybody staring at me? I'm sexy. When it's like, no, you're just scantily clad. And if you have the confidence that goes well with an attractive person to a degree, except for it's become overconfidence, which is not as attractive. But then you have others, which is more like myself, who have the body issues. Okay? Sometimes, gotta love them. You have those people who are secure with their body and don't have body issues, and they're... Ariana Morgan, and she's one that I can think of right now. She's gorgeous. She has no problem dressing scantily in public, and she looks good doing it. She doesn't do it in a necessarily cheap way. She does it in a sexy way, kind of a burlesque way. And she's got curves, and she works them great, and it's fantastic. I wish that there were more people like that who knew how to embrace their own bodies and also knew how to make sure that their bodies were healthy and embraceable, if that makes sense. But a lot of us, I'm not skinny. I've never been Brad Pitt. Okay, my attractiveness that I had in youth was the fact that I was young. Not saying that I'm ugly, but, there was no chance of me ever winning a beauty pageant, in my mind. I can sit here and list all of my faults. Okay? I can just, For some reason, my eyebrows are disappearing. That's from my father's side of the family. I have this little spot under this eye. It's like a mole or something. It drives me nuts. I have a bad blood vessel on my lip that sometimes swells, and I sometimes end up with this big blue spot underneath there. If I shave, I have a big butt face. Okay, my nose is not the smallest thing you've ever seen. And I can go on, that's just me listing the top 4 things on my face. And that's not right that I should be able to do that so easily. We should all be able to find what's good about ourselves, improve what we can. Okay, my few extra pounds, it'd be great for me to lose those few extra pounds. Okay, there's 20 pounds on me that would be great to get rid of. I would be healthier that way. Okay, I can feel this extra weight on me. When I lose 20 pounds, not that I'm skinny. I've never been skinny. Even when I was skinny, I wasn't skinny. But I was healthy. I could go out dancing all night. I could do whatever I wanted. And really, that's the thing that we should be looking at, is, are we healthy? Are we doing what's best for ourselves? And not necessarily comparing ourselves to other people also. Okay, these characters in movies, these characters in comic books, characters in just regular books and everything. You know, when was the last time you read about an ugly adventure hero? Or an ugly adventure heroine? To use the sexy terms, and sexy as in adjective for sex. Gendery terms? I don't know. So, those are all fantasy. We need to accept those are all fantasy. And in turn, we need to start accepting ourselves as not fantasy, as reality, and what's good about ourselves, and what we can work on. There's no reason to get implants. There's no reason to get, lipoed or whatever. Those are just things that you can work on. We don't need to be all perfect. And yet, there's still that voice in the back of my head that is more than willing to sit there and point out everything that's wrong with me. And there's a fantastic musical. It made it to Broadway for all of maybe 3 weeks, called Title of Show, where they're talking about the vampires in your head. It's a great little tune. And there's a line in there where she says something along the lines of, why is it that if a stranger were to come up and say these things to me, I would tell them to go to hell, but when I say these things to me, they're automatically true? I don't know. I mean, it could be because, I'm my favorite voice in my head, and my ego really, really, really likes to think that I'm always right. There is that. But I really don't know where to go with this, other than to just bring up the discussion of self-image. What do you guys think on self-image? This is something that I think a lot of us struggle with. I don't think it's unique to our geek culture at all. Not unique at all. I think it's something that possibly we struggle with a little bit more because we're so accustomed to thinking of ourselves as outcasts that we're willing to listen to whatever little voice gives us reasons to think that we are outcasts. And therefore, we believe those voices more. But at the same time, there's plenty of people, like, going around dressed as Princess Leia at conventions who, they're like 4 Princess Leias, all combined into one costume. And again, more power to them to have that confidence. For them, I wish that they would look at their body as a bit of a temple and work on making themselves healthy. But you don't have to be thin to be healthy. Okay? You don't have to be Brad Pitt to be attractive. You don't have to have perfect skin to really be, to catch someone's eye across the bar. So, where is that fine line between delusion and self-confidence? And where do we start talking to ourselves honestly about our self-image instead of so negatively? I think that's a question a lot of us have to deal with, and I don't have an answer. It's something that clearly I'm working on. So, hey, not the most fun little episode today, huh? Wow. But, again, I want to thank you all for being part of this, helping us continue along. Everyone seems to be catching on to the daily podcast wonderfully, and I am so happy about that. And for those of you of the international audiences, I unfortunately, I don't know that many languages, okay? And I believe that those of you in Brazil and Portugal, you got to listen to me do the intro one time in Portuguese, and it helped me realize how much I have not spoken Portuguese in almost 2 decades. But I thank you so much for your continued support. And who knows, maybe I'll practice and get at least some of those up to speed a little bit. But thank you. I look forward to your comments, especially today. This is definitely, I think, a comment worthy. This is a discussion question, a discussion episode. So feel free to leave your comments, your thoughts on the matter. Also, if you get a chance, iTunes, leave us a review, leave us a 4 or 5-star review is a wonderful thing. It helps get us out there. Don't forget about Joshua Tree Feeding Program. I think I just said Joshua T. Don't forget about Joshua Tree Feeding Program. There we go, I got it out. Joshua Tree Feeding Program. They are an organization that helps people with HIV and AIDS get food. They also have a sister program that helps feed pets so that people don't have to choose between feeding themselves and feeding their pets. Their website is www.jtfp.org. Volunteer organization, so hit them up, see what you can offer them. They'll be more than happy with any assistance. Until tomorrow, thank you. Well, actually, thank you anyway. And I guess we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.